Hi everybody, I'm Hey Viv from Hey Viv Retro Clothing, and I'm here today with Jarim. She is a native Staten Islander and the front end manager at Bound for Glory, which is a tattoo and piercing shop here on Staten Island. Jarim is known for her quirky style, bubbly personality, and she describes herself as a former baby, future skeleton. And I understand you have the tattoo to back that up. Is that it on
I
your
do.
arm? Let's see. Let's take a look. What do you got here?
This was my second tattoo, and yeah, former baby, future skeleton.
There you go. Got your whole life planned out for you.
I sure do.
As you got tattoos, did you think about where the coverage would be? Like, did your ideas change?
Yes, definitely. Especially like for a while, I think when I first started getting tattooed, I didn't know what kind of tattoos I would end up liking or like how my style would evolve. So at first I thought I was gonna get little like black line tattoos that would just be like little scattered all over me. And then as I discovered traditional tattoos, which are a little bit larger and more colorful and like a little bit more, I guess like bold.
Oh,
I Then I decided like maybe then that's because when I first got this, sorry, I'm a little scatterbrained. When I first got this, I didn't. This is a very visible area, and I didn't care because it was so tiny. And then as I started liking more traditional tattoos that were bigger and more colorful and more visible, I was like, maybe since these are so loud, like I will start with like areas that I can normally cover up.
mm-hmm.
So that is why I decided to go for more discreet places when I started getting into traditional.
Right. And then as time went by and you started loving more tattoos and getting more tattoos, you probably changed your style, like you're describing the shoulder coming down. Is there another style that you changed or you found that you liked because of the tattoos to show them off?
I think so, but I think for me it happens like backwards. I take what I normally wear and then kind of if I want to show it off, I'm like, well, I wear a lot of this, so maybe I can get tattooed. Like I wear a lot of midi skirts that go kind of like to the calf.
Right.
So when I decided that I wanted to get my legs tattooed, I started below the knee because that was the area that was most visible because of my long skirts that I wear.
So that makes sense. They work hand in hand. You're thinking of your tattoos, you're thinking of your personal style, and you're making them work together. But what's it like when you first get a tattoo? Don't you have to take special care, and with your clothing that might be difficult?
Yeah, so when you're getting a tattoo, the following days or even weeks of healing, the tattoo is going to kind of almost turn into like a sunburn. It will get flaky, it will kind of get really, really dry, and it won't look so pretty for the next couple of days. So you definitely want to avoid clothes that will rub against it, that will chafe. So when we have clients that come in and they get a tattoo, like maybe over here on their side, we'll often tell them to be wary of like tight-fitting clothing or even bras that have underwire because that can really irritate the tattoo. So you definitely want to plan ahead. And if you know you need to wear like a bra for work, maybe you will get tattooed in a place where that you don't really need to do that.
You have to think ahead a little bit and plan, but then later when your tattoo is healed, you can choose clothing that shows it off. Or do you ever get clothing that has cutouts like keyhole or?
Yeah, so I remember after getting a little like rib tattoo, I found this dress that had like these little cutouts like over here that were kind of interesting. And I guess normally I wouldn't go for that kind of dress, but I was like, oh my God, it will show off the tattoo perfectly almost. So I ended up getting the dress because of that. And I do find that sometimes people that have tattoos in like a little bit more non-visible areas, they'll sometimes wear something with like little peepholes or cutouts to kind of show it off, which I think is great.
Right. Do you have another piece of clothing you brought to show us? You said you had a couple?
Yeah, so this is the kind of shirt that I was wearing a lot when I was first getting tattooed, this is one of my favorite shirts. So I wore a lot of shirts that were, again, this one was off the shoulder, but it has like sleeves that go up to the elbow.
Ah,
And that was kind of like the type of shirt that I was wearing a lot at the time. So I decided, like, you know, I avoided getting my my forearm tattooed just because if I did want to hide it for work and stuff, I could
you'd have a choice then.
right. So I started getting tattooed like here. So after my first and second tattoo, my third tattoo was this one, which was still in kind of like a hidden spot, so I can kind of like, you know, hide it away if I was wearing short sleeves, and it would just kind of poke out here, which I love. And then from there, I started getting all of these tattoos in that concentrated area.
Right.
Because still that could be covered with the kind of shirts that I wore, you know, up to my elbow. So yeah, I avoided getting tattooed below the elbow for a while just because I wanted to be able to conceal it and I knew the kind of clothing that I was wearing.
Right. And now do you feel that you conceal it as much like for work, or is it not a non-issue for you now?
Now that I have tattoos and everyone kind of knows it, I find that I don't have to hide my tattoos as much, or I don't feel the need to, especially now that I work at a tattoo shop. And also I have an office job as well. So everyone kind of knows that I have tattoos now. So it's not like a big secret anymore. Not that it ever was, I just was unsure. So I was testing the waters. But now that I find that it's okay and my jobs don't seem to mind, I am more open about getting tattooed in places that are more visible, which is something that I've always wanted, but I was just a little shy about. So yeah, now I find that like I do dress more, you know, I wear shorter sleeves and I don't find that I have to, you know, be so picky about clothes, and I can just wear what I would normally wear as opposed to trying to conceal.
Okay, so you've got plans and they're still evolving, which it sounds exciting because
Yeah.
that could be anything.
And I think that that's something that I'm wary of too, the fact that my style is always changing. So I definitely don't want to take up all of the room with the way that I am at 23, because I might think differently when I am 30 and maybe I'll want to get different tattoos then. So I always think like maybe save some room for the later Jarim's ideas.
I like that. That's a really good point. And Jarim, your Instagram is at Jarim Stay Soft,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll put that in the end credits. And I am so happy that you talked to us today. We're here with Jarim. She's a tattoo fan, cool dresser, and future skeleton.
Future skeleton, that's right.
I'm Viv from Hey Viv. Thanks for joining us today.